Yo, what up, guys? Welcome to another video. So this is an update. So I just uploaded a video today. So this video is gonna be uploaded on the 19th. So the day when you see this video might be on the 19th or the day after the 19th, because I'm giving you guys an update of the video that I posted. So this video is an update of the previous video that I've posted, right? So yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and say something in the comments. Say what you would like me to post, and what you would like to basically see. But the first thing that I want to talk about is this indicator that I'm using, this one right about here, this one for sessions, right? So basically I adjusted the sessions based on the South African Standard Time, which is the GMT plus 2, or you can say using is it GMT plus 2 Johannesburg, right? So these sessions are just boxes that say, like, are just areas that will tell me that okay, this is your trading area. Outside of these boxes, I don't trade. Like for example here, all this price action, I would have avoided all of this price action right about here. Not avoiding isn't like I don't consider them into my market structure. Avoiding isn't like I don't take positions outside of these boxes right about here, right? So in the previous video I spoke about how I will enter my positions once price close above this line right about changing the state of delivery. I mentioned how I would enter my position right about here, which is what I did. Actually entered my positions right about here, stop loss below this low that was created right about here, and which is our new protected swing point, this low right about here, and take profit is 1:2. As you can see, the ratio is exactly at 2, close position at 1:2, right? So from that I'm gonna see what I'm anticipating next. Currently I don't know what I don't have an anticipation, mainly because the daily time frame hasn't closed, right? So I'm waiting for the daily time frame to close so that I can see what to expect next. Because what we have is that we have our all-time swing point right about here, which the market took out here, which the market manipulated. So I don't know if the market is going to close up or it's going to reject and continue to the downside. But looking at structure, we have our protected swing point right about here. So we might look for price to break this protected swing point. Once it breaks this protected swing point and close below, once it breaks and close below, I'm gonna look for those retracement and look for selling opportunities, because it will be our change in the state of delivery. Currently we had the manipulation of this low. If at this current price the market managed to close below, I would have looked for those retracement and to continue to the downside, but price just manipulated and rejected back inside and went up to the to manipulate this all-time swing point right about here. So currently I'm waiting to see if price is gonna sweep, manipulate here, and then close below, give me those retracements and continue to sell to the downside, right? For possibly this low, possibly it will be to come and sweep this low and this low right about here, and the low of today right about here. So I'm expecting price to do this probably by tomorrow or Wednesday or Thursday or even Friday, right? Price can just consolidate, and then continue on. Maybe even next week it can happen that price can just consolidate, and so this is what we have on USDJPY. And then on gold, I had this entry right about here. So the first thing that price did today on gold was to manipulate the Friday's low, the low that was created on Thursday and Friday, right? So this is this candlestick right about here, and this one is for Thursday, this one is for Friday. So price manipulated both this low and this low, right? After manipulating, it created the change in the state of delivery right about here, which is this the high that was responsible for the manipulation of this lows, which is this high right about here. So the market came above and closed above. So I didn't get, even if you watched the previous video that I've posted, I mentioned how I couldn't trade price from here because the stop loss doesn't make sense, right? The risk doesn't make sense for me to enter here and put my stop loss down here, right? It doesn't make sense for me to try and catch 1:2s, which is gonna be way somewhere right about here. It doesn't make sense for me, right? It's too big for me to look for such movements, right? Especially on Monday, right? So the first entry that I caught was right about here. After we had this retracement, creating this order block and impulsing to the upside. That's when I caught my entry right about here. I'll try to pop up proof of entries on the screen. All right, so I'm still working on the editing skills. I'm not really good with editing skills. And then targeted 1:2, exactly 1:2, which is right about here. 1:2 right about here. And price retraced again and then pushed to the upside, right? How I caught these entries because of this, what happened here. It left this low right about here. This protected swing was right about here. So this movement that went to the upside, price managed to come below this movement, creating what we call change in the state of delivery. It came below here, creating what we call change in the state of delivery. Change in the state of delivery meaning we are switching from looking for buying opportunities to looking for selling opportunities, right? So we had this fair value gap that price came and retested to with this fair value gap right about here, and I waited for the manipulation of the high of the candle or the low of the candle that was responsible for coming into this fair value gap, which is this candle right about here, right? But I waited for price to close below right about here. Once price closed below, I opened my position, stop loss above the protected swing point and targeted 1:2, which is 1:2 right about there. Targeted 1:2, and as you can see, each entry that I mentioned that I took, it's within these boxes right about here. First entry, which was here, it's within this boxes. Second entry within the box, third entry within the box. This entry right about here, not I didn't catch an entry. My bad, my entry wasn't here, my entry was here. After this coming above here, my entry was here. It wasn't here, my bad, my entry wasn't here, but it would be a great position to enter right about here. My entry was here, and then stop loss below here, and then take profit right about there. As you can see, I caught 1:2. As you can see, 1:2, stop loss here, and then take profit here, 1:2, exactly at 1:2, as you can see from there. Yeah, let me try to now I'll do that. I'll try to pop up the screenshots of the entries, so that I don't just be all talk, isn't like I'm just saying, hey, I'm mentioning things that I've never done. I'm actually literally gonna provide proof that I literally took these positions, right? Another setup that we had was NASDAQ. NASDAQ, I've explained it. Here it was a range. Price was in a consolidation, as from this high to this low. Price was just consolidating. Once price left the consolidation, it did not continue to the upside. It came back into the consolidation, right? Coming back into the consolidation, creating what we call the change in the state of delivery right about here, by closing below the low that was responsible for the manipulation of the high of the consolidation right about here. So this low was responsible for taking out this high that was responsible for the consolidation, right? So it came in, came down, closed below, tried to move higher. So my plan was to wait for price to come to a fair value gap right about here, but because it created a protected swing point by retesting coming back and closing below, that's when I entered my position right about here. Stop loss above there because this was too close to my entry point, so I just put my stop loss right about there, and then targeted 1:2. 1:2 was here. My target 1:2 right about there, targeting 1:2. Then from there, price started being in a consolidation, right? And as I mentioned in the previous video, our target was this low, right? But we basically hit TP before we got to this low, so we are not greedy. We're not gonna hold price through until there. We're just gonna close and wait for price to give us other opportunities. And it did created this protected swing point here, coming back inside and then manipulating the low right about there, right? So yeah, this was it. And then also for NASDAQ, I don't have future anticipation. I'm waiting for price to close. Currently we're in a consolidation. As you can see, we are just ranging there, so we're just consolidating. So our new consolidation is between this high and this low right about here. So we're just consolidating between these 2 points, so we're gonna see what the market is gonna do, how price is gonna close. And another pair that I've traded was EURUSD, that I showed proof of in on the previous. If you watch the previous video, you're gonna see what I mentioned. So I caught an entry right about here, which gave me 1:2 right about there. And now this entry, this is the position that I'm currently in. I took my position right about here. This is the position that I'm currently in. We had this consolidation. We left the consolidation, right? After leaving the consolidation, we closed below and we retraced back in a tricklish movement. We did not impulse back in the range. We moved in a corrective manner, showing that weakness in the buying position. And we tapped into this fair value gap. After tapping into the fair value gap, we rejected, came back down, manipulate the candle that was responsible to come into the fair value gap. That is why I entered my position exactly at the closing price of this low right about here. So targeting 1:2, as you can see, 1:2 there. 1:2, which is slightly above the low of Friday, which is slightly above the low of Friday. And as I mentioned from the video, I'm looking for price to try and manipulate this one of these lows right about here. So let's see what the market has in store for us. So we're waiting for price to manipulate this low right about here, give us those retests and have those continuations to the upside, right? So yeah, and then for gold, I don't think I gave what I anticipate. So for gold, we still looking bearish, right? So we might look for price to try and retest at this order block, and continue to push to the downside, right? We might look for price to try and retest this order block and continue to the upside, but we have to be cautious and look at how price approaches this order block. If we approach price this order block with an expansion, with an impulsive movement, we're gonna chill on looking for those selling opportunities, and we're looking for buying opportunities once price managed to create the change in the state of delivery right about here. Once price manages to come above here, give us those retracement, and we look for those buying opportunities, right? Also considering how the daily time frame closes. So for now, let's look at what we have. And yeah, I hope you find this video useful. And yeah, so actually I have a target, right? If I reach 500 subscribers, I'm going to post I'm gonna be sharing like different ICT strategies, like different concepts of ICT, and also show you how to choose the ones that are gonna work for you, and also I'm going to basically, yeah. So we'll see each other on another video. Shing. The first thing that we need now is the protective swing. Protective swing, how? We're looking for the market to go to the upside, sweep the high of the range. After sweeping the high of the range, come and change the state of delivery, give us a retracement, and we look for those selling opportunities to the downside.